Hello and welcome to Just Be. My name is Bianca, personality, intuition, and self healing coach. As a professional competitive dance world champion, I also coach and train competitive dance couples. Originally, I'm German, but as I know many people all over the world, I also want to do some podcasts in English. So please ignore if my English sounds strange at times. More information about me and my doing you will find at www.justbe.world. Great to meet you. Today my topic is truth or lies, knowledge and belief. Today, September 11th, 2021, my son asked me about my memories of the attack on the World Trade Center. We also came up with a question of whether what one reads and hears in the official media is true or not. When I told him that I didn't have a lot of confidence in reports from newspapers and the news, I rather believe that money and power rules the media world. He laughed and said that this would be a rather sad world then. I was glad that he could laugh generously about this. In my opinion, however, the exact opposite is the case. This world crisis in 2020-21 gives us all a really big chance. More and more people are feeling pushed to question things. Many of my friends, acquaintances, and clients ask themselves, who can still be believed? I think that's wonderful. I see it this way. Now, everyone has the chance to make a decision. Precisely because everything appears so chaotic outside of us, we are forced to organize ourselves inside. We can no longer just follow someone. We have to take responsibility for ourselves. We are responsible for what we eat, drink, think, believe, say, and of course, also what we do. Who do I want to believe and why? What is my own opinion and what are the best ways to find our own opinion? Is it enough to have our own opinion? Isn't that just a belief? And what is the worth of a belief? Knowledge is power, isn't it? Questions after questions, to which we can finally find an answer ourselves. If you manage to arrive at the decision to respect and value your own opinion, also the possibility arises to respect other opinions and see them how they are, just a different opinion. Because who knows the facts? Most of what we learned in school from parents or from books, we cannot check ourselves. Which statistics can you check? Which scientific tests can you monitor yourself? And which historical event have you been present yourself? Knowledge is usually copied knowledge, somebody else's narrative and reality, so to speak. If you know the way I know that our belief creates our reality, the value of knowledge becomes much smaller. It becomes clear that a belief is not just naivety, but on the contrary, represents a powerful force. No matter what is true for someone else, it doesn't mean it has to be true for you. But one has to get this attitude first if we want to be free. For sure, it's not enough for people like me to simply claim something. Practicing yourself creates your own experience. That's what makes a change. Because only this way you can create trust in your own abilities. This is the only way to put an end to doubt. Doubt demands a decision. Then it's valuable. Getting stuck in doubts keeps us trapped. I know a lot of people whose belief is more of a doubt than a belief. Then that is not very helpful on the way of becoming a happy and free person. I think that for many of us, times are over where we can, should, or have to rely on other opinions. We now have finally been pushed out of the nest so that we can learn to fly ourselves. And that is because we can. Since I recognized myself as a spiritual being, which has been going on for a few years now, I mainly deal with my own wisdom, perceive intuitively, have enjoyed a number of trainings in order to be able to be my own medium. Accordingly, my senses have been refined so that I now have the opportunity to be able to perceive more than average. What a blessing. Information is obtained from a higher source, but is also possible to assess what is generally perceived, what has been heard and read. You can then quickly feel whether what you perceive corresponds to your own truth, whether someone is deliberately lying or not. So you can freely decide what is right for you and what is not. That is all that really matters. If you practice this kind of expanded perception again and again, you can gain experience and, so to speak, check with the feedback whether what you have perceived is true for yourself or not. So you will gain confidence in your own inner voice. You will begin to trust yourself and so find self-worth and self-love. Only if you learn to appreciate yourself and your doing, you can appreciate and respect others and their doing. I think this is very, very important. For a long time, I didn't dare to tell people how my opinion and my beliefs are formed. Asking higher sources, or so to say, channel the universal wisdom, combined with my common sense, especially in connection with my heart intelligence. For a long time, I thought that knowledge has more value than what I felt and believe. Today, I know that is not true. With this podcast, I would like to inspire you. I would like to recommend to you warmly, train your perception skills. Learn to trust your perception. Feel worthy enough to believe in yourself and expressing your opinion without worrying about what others think of you. Your self-created belief is the only thing that matters. In the vast majority of cases, you cannot check the knowledge of others. So belief is the only thing that matters to you. Listen to knowledge and experiences of others, but always combine informations gained with your own perception of things. Your belief creates emotions, and these create your reality, your future. Don't give this power to anyone. Don't be impressed by the fears and power games of others. Faith is very, very powerful and therefore belongs in good hands with loving intentions. Because this is natural, it's the universal law that always works, no matter how good or bad the intentions behind it are. Therefore, the only thing that matters is people's awareness, because we create this world every day, whether we like it or not, consciously or unconsciously. There are no coincidences. Nothing is random. Individual and collective consciousness decides about war and peace. Where do you want to belong? Do you create or do you obey? Refine your senses and perceive more than it's generally the case. Everyone can do that. It is our birthright, so to speak. It is my firm belief that power-hungry people have interest in taking power away from others. People with their own perception skills are not helpful in order to maintain control and power. If you look at history, it has always been like that. One always saw fear and promoted the bad conscience of people in order to keep them small and controlled. Being uninformed and misinformed as much as possible plays an important role in this game. Church leaders, kings, politicians, fear has always been the best way to rob people of their own power. Today, many people are not afraid anymore of the punishment of God as it was common in the past. That is why other tricks are now being used. You could lose what is dear to you, your health and the health of your loved ones. You can lose money, work, your house, etc. One lures with freedom that viewed closely is no freedom. Since many people still trust the health system more than their own self-healing power, this still works well until now, until you stop it. But now we have the chance to see that our immune system is responsible for spoiling the existence of a virus. I would just like to briefly mention here that conventional medicine definitely deserves its place when it comes to first aid. But no matter what so-called diseases there are, physically, psychologically, or mentally, we are meant to be healthy and happy. Symptoms are just a hint from your soul that there is something to perceive, to recognize, and to heal so that you can become as you are originally meant to be. The cause of a symptom does not come from outside. There is nothing outside that can be cured. Don't just look for the solutions in the outside world. If we only swallow pills or feel we need to be vaccinated against everything, then we will have a problem that gets bigger and bigger and ends with the fact that we can only experience little joy when we are aging, or we will suffer even earlier and constantly live in fear. Great to have conventional medicine, but we are responsible for healing ourselves afterwards. I really don't care if people agree to the current corona measures or not, who wants to be vaccinated or not. Everyone has a free will. What else? Free will is the supreme law. This is how it works in the divine creation. You have to decide yourself to be powerful, successful, and healthy, and then act accordingly. We are now ready to choose as who we want to live. An awakened consciousness with infinite possibilities, or as a small, normal person with general human problems, with mostly material joys the duration of which is very limited and mostly does not really affect the soul. I hope that my truth was inspiring for you, and I thank you very much for your attention. Would you like to find out more about individual coachings, workshops? Have a look at my website www.justbe.world. If you want, subscribe to the newsletter or contact me directly on Instagram or Facebook. I would also be very happy to receive your feedback or your opinion on the subject right here under this video. See you next time at Just Be.